is why you're going to start seeing Twitch streamers set their minimum donation threshold to $100 in the near future. This is a multi-part story, so buckle up. The story begins several years ago on YouTube, when there was an update which introduced super chats, which allowed you to pay a certain amount of money to pin a message to the top of a streamer's chat, so the entire chat could see it, and so the streamer could see it more easily. I've been a YouTube streamer for many years, I've got millions of subscribers, I've streamed to upwards of 30,000 people at certain times, like I've had some really big streams pop off, and super chats are massively valuable in those moments because it means that if things are going real fast and I'm not able to keep up with every single $2 donation in the moment, my chat can still see when there's massive donation nukes coming in, and it becomes a real community moment when those donations happen. Super chats are also somewhat unique, or at least they're different to regular PayPal donations via Streamlabs, things like that, which folks would use on Twitch, because those donations are mediated by PayPal, not by the platform. And what's the key difference of a PayPal mediated donation instead of a platform mediated one? If you're a streamer, I bet you already know the answer to this. It's chargebacks. So when I used to stream on Twitch, and even when I used to stream back on Justin.tv back in the day, I would super often run into issues where someone would donate a bunch of times, just $5 donations, and then charge them all back, and the fee for getting a chargeback that I have to pay is $20. So you can imagine, I get 50 donations, and they all get charged back. Suddenly, I'm out of a load of money, and if I'm expecting to pay rent with that money, I'm in a really bad spot. So the fact that Super Chat was platform mediated meant that I didn't have to worry so much about the whole chargebacks thing. But it came at a price. You see, platforms like Twitch and YouTube and Kick Now, etc., all take a cut on various different types of fan funding, as YouTube calls it, such as super chats. And in YouTube's case, the split was 70-30. Now, a lot of creators do not like this. Here's an example from Schlatt, where he makes it very clear that he is not a fan of that 70-30 split. But other creators say, well, it's better than having mystery chargebacks sort of looming over me at any given moment, and so I'll take the 70-30 split and sort of imagine it as a peace of mind fee, plus it does have a cool feature in its integration on the platform that you don't get with a Streamlabs, etc. donation. So we've got some background context, which is good, but how does this relate to Twitch nowadays? Well, Twitch have just announced Hype Chat. And Hype Chat has a 70-30 split. Sounds familiar, right? It's very similar to Super Chat. It's clearly inspired by it, so much so that Ryan Wyatt, who used to be the head of gaming at Google, I'm actually just Googling here to make sure that that was the correct title for him. Okay, thank God I got it right. Fwiz does actually follow me, so if I got that wrong, that'd be pretty embarrassing. But he called Twitch out for this, saying, okay, this sounds a little familiar, guys. Like, I wonder where that came from. Clearly indicating that he recognizes this was copied from YouTube, and specifically copied from a YouTube feature that he released while he was there. So if some YouTubers are totally fine with the 70-30 split, why would people be upset that Twitch are now doing the exact same thing? Well, there is a key difference. As Loco points out here, the split isn't actually 70-30 because Twitch is adding a separate fee on before the 70-30 divvying up actually happens. You see, on any platform basically where there is a transaction taking place, there is some kind of transaction fee associated with that. And typically, those fees are a couple of percent at max. That's why if you're ever in a store and they say, oh, there's a fee for using certain types of cards, that's because the fee to use those sorts of cards is higher and the store doesn't want to eat that loss, so they're offloading it onto you, the buyer. But anyway, Twitch here is adding a 5% transaction fee, much bigger than you would expect as a generic transaction fee. And they're saying that it's just to cover transaction costs, but it presumably does also cover chargebacks too. But this means that if you do the full calculation of taking 5% off and then only giving the streamer 70%, you're actually only giving them about 66%. So it's coming in lower than what YouTube is doing, but they're trying to be sort of sneaky about it and make it seem like it's actually the same as what YouTube is doing. And the culture on Twitch is not to be using that feature. The culture right now, because it's been this way for a long time, is for streamers to just get folks to donate using their Streamlabs link or whatever it is. And unlike how things are on YouTube, there isn't going to be a way to turn off Hype Chat on Twitch. So for partners that don't want to suddenly start giving Twitch 34% of their revenue because they want to keep using their established donation method, they are going to look at this new feature and go, okay, well, what is the best way for me to disincentivize my viewers to actually engage with this while Twitch is trying to push it as much as they can? And the answer to that is to bump up that minimum transaction cost as much as they can so that the vast majority of viewers who are going to make a donation will look at the minimum there and go, oh, I only wanted to donate $5. I'll do that via Streamlabs instead, and then the streamer will get 100% of the cut. Now, this story is going to evolve a lot over the coming days and weeks. I make videos about the creator economy. I've been doing this for 14 years. I've got 2 million subs, hundreds of millions of views, and I make content for people exactly like you, so make sure to follow for updates. But what I'm really curious to see is whether streamers start to notice that this actually means that there's a net net increase on donations they'd already be getting. Like, if streamers, for example, on YouTube don't have Super Chat turned on and then they turn it on, sometimes they see their net total number of donations actually increase because the regular donations stay the same, but new folks are incentivized to use the new feature and to get the shiny chat message, and so they start donating. It remains to be seen if the same will happen on Twitch, but you'll have to follow for more to see whether that's the case or not.